Hey guys, welcome to Nexus Kingdom. Today we're making our very own superheroes.
Yeah. Alright guys, so today we're going to be making our own superheroes. There's this really cool app that I was able to find. It's called randomlist.com. So if you just Google like randomlist.com and then like superhero generator or superpower generator, you'll find it there. There's also going to be a link in the description below. But what we're going to do is we're going to have 2 superpowers be generated at random. And then there's like 100 plus superpowers, so this is going to be awesome. We're going to name our superhero. We're going to describe how they use it to be a hero. And then we're going to describe what our hero looks like. And you're going to be able to also see what the hero kind of looks like using the other really awesome website called Hero Forge. All right, so yep. I'm going to go ahead and go first.
Now, what superpower would you like to have?
So I didn't really see too well what it was. Even then, I'll probably generate again. I don't know. I'm always a big fan of just enhanced strength, speed, and durability. Especially like being able to just, get around the battlefield as quickly as possible, but still being able to hold your own. But I don't know. It's going to be interesting. So I'm going to randomize right now. And I got superhuman longevity, so the ability to live longer than a normal human. And air and wind manipulation, the ability to control, generate, or absorb air or wind.
Wow.
Did I just accidentally make the avatar?
You did. Well, you made an airbender.
I did.
An air nomad.
All right.
I don't know. Do they live longer than others?
I don't know. So, I don't know if
I guess they're not around.
Kyoshi lives like 200 plus years, and she's an earthbender.
Sorry, that was a little gruesome.
Yeah.
They're not around, so you don't know.
Oh, goodness. Alrighty, everyone. So that's out of the way now. All right. So let's see. If I had to name my hero, let's see.
Aang.
No, I think so. If this is gonna be like a modern day kind of like a superhero type situation, something that they would probably do to be a hero though in public, if people were falling or being thrown by like villains or anything like that, being able to control, generate, or absorb air and all that stuff, you'd be able to cushion people's landings so that, you can save people that way. One thing that, this is actually also in the first Thor movie. Thor was able to create that like whirlwind around the town, and he was actually able to lift up the destroyer. I'm thinking that would be a very effective way to control like where the villains are going to be at that time. Just do like selected twisters around them to lift them up, and you could do it fast enough to where they're not going to like lose their breath or anything like that, so you don't like kill them. But yeah, you can like all group them together into one area, and then I don't know, being able to like speed up your body parts and all that stuff, like throwing a punch. It's like, if you can like move the air out of your way, like you're not going to get like air drag, so your punches are going to be faster, which means they're going to be a lot harder when you're fighting people. Not to mention you could probably then control the air behind your arm to then push your arm even faster. So not only are you going to hold your own close combat, but you also now have range because kind of like Avatar: The Last Airbender, he was able to like get like a lot of good range attacks, especially when he has like a pole arm. But I don't think I'm going to have any like weapons or anything like that with my character. It's just mainly going to be our like fists and like being able to like push the air to like blast the bad guys either on their backs or just away from bad guys. And that's the other thing is projectiles. If you can get like a strong enough air current, you could probably like move a projectile out of the way that a villain has.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and I don't know, something like with air, even though we know no capes when it comes to like the style of my character. No, it's just like if you can control wind, you can just look epic like 24/7 if you just like concentrate. So it's just like constantly having your cape blowing behind you. And that's the other thing. It's like, you'd be able to fly, you'd be able to like fight better. So I think what I would also have is like kind of metal, like fingerless metal gauntlets. So basically just like metal on like these portions of your gloves so that you can have, again, harder hits and all that stuff so you can still hold your own. Especially if you're in kind of like a city environment where too much wind would just make more destruction. Yeah, you can still like be close combat. So that's what I'd probably do, focus on. Still have a cape and all that stuff. And then, yeah, so that's probably what I would want to do. Too. So I was actually just also looking a little bit, and there's a few different words that are actually used for wind. This first one that I found, it's called Sirocco, and forgive me if I pronounce that wrong. But what it's cool, it is a hot, kind of oppressive Mediterranean coast wind that like pretty close to like the European region of the world. So I wouldn't want to be like an oppressive character or anything like that, but I would want to be able to like be able to take down the villains and all that stuff. So now a little bit more into like the style of my character, because I have that name. I would love it if I could have like, you know, those like headwear that like, you know, like desert dwellers in media wear and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. So it's like you could wear that, but then like, you know, like a short sleeve shirt, a cape, and then like the gloves with like the metal on top of it, and then probably just some like baggy pants, and probably either just like normal shoes, boots, or even sandals. I feel like be aesthetically appealing. And like I feel like I would almost want to make, just because it is more like a Mediterranean desert, I keep thinking more Sahara Desert in a way, so I'd probably want more of a Middle Eastern ethnicity with this character. So that's probably how I would make this character look. So Sirocco, Middle Eastern, kind of a desert dweller, and the other thing about it is he has longevity. So how does he get his powers? You know, honestly, I feel like it could be, you know, part of his tribe he grew up with. They send people, like they send young men on these journeys to become men. But his journey led him to even more desolate part of the desert. I mean, like he was out there for much longer than the other young men were. And eventually he was like given a vision and a blessing by the gods. So he is not only being able to manipulate these winds and all that stuff, but he is now their messenger, basically their avatar. So no connection to the awesome TV show, but yeah, so that's basically it. So it's like I imagine like really cool visions with like Ra, Anubis, all that stuff. And it's like I know I said like Mediterranean, Sahara, but I'm including like the Egyptian, but I just feel like it'd be so aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah.
So
yeah, anything like over there would be pretty cool. You know, with those winds and stuff, and yeah, it's awesome.
So that's my character.
And what I got? I got Energy Blast.
Oh, come on.
Ability to expel various forms of energy from the body, and immortality. Ability to live forever. This may be complete immortality encompassing invulnerability, partial invulnerability to all but specific events, decapitation, exposure to specific chemicals such as kryptonite, or simply an inability to age normally.
So it sounds like you get to choose what kind of immortality that you want, and also the type of energy you get to expel.
Yeah, so I kind of sound like Captain Marvel or something with like the energy blasts. And
plus she does live longer, so goodness.
Man, all right. Well, they specifically cite kryptonite in this too.
So kind of like a
I
lower
wonder
grade Superman.
where they took this from. Okay, so let's see. What can we name this superhero? When I think of it, I'm thinking, you know, energy blast, nuclear, plutonium, uranium, energy, cosmic atom.
Cosmic atom.
Cosmic atom. 80 a.m.
80 a.m.
Not like atom.
That's actually really cool.
Cosmic
Alright,
atom.
So how would you use these?
All right, so I think with the energy blasts, you could do a lot of things with like the energy blasts, and one of the, blast energy, like kind of like fireballs, but
Mhm.
in amounts of like energy, that sort of thing, kind of like how Captain Marvel does it.
Oh yeah.
Also, you can probably fly. Probably just take that energy, put it behind you, and you just skyrocket up and just kind of fly around.
What color would the energy be, or is it like different
I'm
types
thinking,
of energy?
Yeah, it might, depending on the type of energy, I wouldn't know, like, maybe it's kind of a radioactive type thing, so maybe it's like a green, like a light green, kind of like the same shade as Green Lantern, a little bit. It's kind of like that kind of energy.
Okay.
So, not to take from Green Lantern, obviously. But it would give you like abilities to, you know, like shoot those from your fists, that sort of thing. Maybe even able to kick energy blasts, do something like that. Just radiate it like from all body parts, you know,
Nice.
kind of like just from
Could
your.
you do it from your eyes?
You could probably do it from your eyes. I wouldn't expect you to control that like Darkseid, but kind of like a Superman, a straight beam shot.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. So for the immortality part, I think being able to live forever and be invulnerable to everything is too overpowering. Even Superman has his limits. So I'm thinking like an invulnerability to a certain type of weapon, kind of like kryptonite, but found, just in remote parts of the world, that sort of thing. Not that it's super overly abundant, that it makes it a problem every fight, but once a supervillain gets a hold of enough of it, that it creates a really big problem for our hero.
So it's something that it would be naturally occurring here on Earth. So it wouldn't have to be like you have to go out in space to get it when you run out of it. It's more
I'm thinking like a man-made kind of, because this is all going around like radioactivity, so kind of a man-made, like kind of like plutonium, but not as common and not as easy to make as plutonium.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of that thing, just kind of a new element inside of this universe that our hero finds himself in.
The common trope used in media, they used it in the Blue People Avatar, so James Cameron's 2009, I believe, Avatar, unobtainium. So since unobtainable, but so that would be kind of like the go-to name, I guess, for this
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so you talked about how he would kind of like use it in public and all that stuff. So, how did your hero get his powers, and what does he look like?
I'm thinking that he got his powers from, kind of like where he's at in maybe like the Arctic, where you see that aurora borealis kind of thing with the sun's rays and stuff hitting it just right, that kind of thing, and some random event happens when he's right underneath that. So he gets kind of like this energy imbued inside of him, and he doesn't know, that it's happened for a while, but the energy starts to amass in greater and greater quantities when he's just out living his life, and it becomes too much, and he starts, finding out that he has these powers, that sort of thing. So he's kind of like a scientist going on expeditions to the Arctic and seeing these things, and it kind of affects him and imbues him with these powers.
So you would say it's this energy from the energy blast, that's what's probably giving him his immortality as well.
Yeah, yep. So from the energy comes the immortality, comes the energy blast, the ability to do all the things that I said before. And I'm thinking that he's like a scholar, so more of a Western type archetype. He could be, from the United States, not necessarily from someplace in Europe, England, France, Spain, that sort of thing, where he's this scholar and he goes out and he does all these things, and totally changes his life when he comes back and finds out that he has these powers. So I'm thinking like a U.S. or Western type European with this. Maybe for like the clothing, I would select, kind of tighter clothing as well, because when he's, flying around, that sort of thing, we want to eliminate as much drag from the body as possible. Kind of like Superman, kind of like all the DC characters. I don't know. Is there a baggy suited DC hero?
Baggy suited DC superhero. I mean, not really too baggy, but I mean, what's his name? I think it was Earth's third or fourth, kind of depends on the continuity, Green Lantern.
Mm-hmm.
So your main Green Lanterns are going to be Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart. That's like your big fan favorites. There's one, his name escapes me, but he has this like big jacket on. So it's not like a tight fitting jacket, but it's definitely not aerodynamic, pleasing, I guess.
Yeah, we want it to be more aerodynamic, so that when he's flying, when he's doing these energy blasts, it's like not getting affected by like wind. It's not coming off because of the energy blasts and leaving him exposed.
Awesome. So what kind of colors are we thinking with?
We're thinking like with keeping with the green, so various shades of green. Maybe some sort of like Aurora Borealis emblem kind of thing on his chest, but definitely with like the darker shades of green right over the chest, and then we get out maybe to kind of like a black gauntlet and black leg boots, that sort of thing. I think
that sounds really cool.
Yeah.
Now I really want these guys to be in like comics so I can like read them and all that stuff.
Hey, we're making them, so
that's true.
Yeah.
All right, so thank you guys so much for joining us today. So one of the main reasons why I wanted us to do this is just to show you guys, anyone can be creative and all that stuff. We can create these like superheroes. Let's just like fill the world with these like really awesome ideas. Just because, I don't know, like I love superheroes, just the idea of them and all that stuff, being able to just like give yourself and just like serve others, be able to like have these powers, be able to like to spread this service to most of the world. The other thing that I would highly encourage you guys to do, and feel free, take our guys, edit them to your liking, make stories about them, draw them if you would want to. Let's see what you guys can come up with. And if you want to create your own superhero, again, go to randomlist.com, go to like the superpower generator, and then you can also like make your little like a tabletop gaming version of your character from heroforge.com. Well, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your nights, and thanks for joining the kingdom.
See ya.
See ya.